Hazing on college campuses today. It's not so fun after all. In today's Greek organizations, many have raised the standards into entering their honorable brotherhood or sisterhood. But what is hazing defined as, and what does it really mean to individuals like you or I? When I was researching what this definition meant, I actually came across a surprising number of websites and articles that went to explain that hazing isn't so bad after all. It really teaches an individual how to be strong and how to work as one in the group. It teaches us how to become unified. But what is the definition of hazing really? The definition of hazing goes well beyond that list of forbidden activities, such as alcohol consumption, beating, humiliating acts, and so on. It's important to understand that an organizational culture that includes hazing is one that is counterproductive to the purpose and success of that organization. Most hazing is an attempt to unify new members, and it actually does, but it unifies out of fear or common bond of enduring together. Treating individuals without respect for human dignity is simply wrong. It also shows a lack of creativity in planning activities that could accomplish the same thing as hazing. It's about power and control rather than mutual respect, shared interests, and helpfulness. And it most certainly is not about real friendship. Some individuals believe that hazing rituals can develop a keener sense of brotherhood and sisterhood because of the tough acts that you have to endure during being inducted into this organization. In an article in the Chicago Tribune, it explains that hazing is good for America. Those of us who have been through fraternity and sorority initiations at one time of a hollowed part of campus know that they have developed shared feelings of pride and honor. These individuals feel the willingness to put up with these uncomfortable situations indicate that you deeply care about the membership. In this article, they also believed that the initiates give up part of their personal reputation in the hazing process to acquire the benefits of the organization, which in return strengthens the group and the person. In regards to the opposing argument, I fully disagree with the matter of the statement. In the presence of hazing, pledges go through long periods of humiliation and embarrassment, which makes them feel ashamed of even being a part of that organization. Also, according to antihazing.org, it confirms that about 30% of initiates that even go through the pledging process do not get hazed. Nevertheless, this makes the process biased, which therefore brings down the presence of brotherhood and sisterhood. Another argument that some individuals believe is that hazing teaches you to go through a lot more mentally, and that makes pledges appreciate the fraternity or sorority more. Some feel that the hazing process breaks the individuals down and builds them back up to be a more refined person. Additionally, they believe that being hazed pushes you to think in a new way. Furthermore, they also believe that being hazed into a fraternity or sorority makes the individual the person that they choose to live every day, whose lives they choose to live every day. The opposing argument was correct in the fact that hazing does break you down, but it doesn't build up the individual's self-esteem. Hazing involves strenuous physical and verbal abuse, which can take a toll on the body as well as the mind, and can furthermore lead to unbearable pain, emotionally, physically, or mentally, and in the worst-case scenario, death. In the magazine entitled The Black College Wire, it tells a story of a young woman who was tortured physically and mentally during an exhausting hazing process. As a result, she'd had enough and couldn't bear the pain any longer. She ended up committing suicide. Even though in situations like this, one may opt out of the pledging line, your self-esteem is still extremely low, which can cause a person to go to extreme measures, such as the woman that I just talked about. Some individuals also say that it is tradition and legacy of Greek organizations to haze initiates in the pledging process. They feel that hazing rituals were not meant to be harmful and can teach initiates hard-earned lessons. People believe that hazing has been for many years, and it has been happening for many years, and it would be non-traditional to change these rituals. As I think back to my own experiences this past semester, this is what came to mind. When I initially became interested in pledging, I already knew of the concept of hazing. Did I actually think that it was a real thing and that sororities actually did this? No. But nevertheless, I felt that if I did have to go through the hazing process, I would feel a sense of belonging and pride, since my older sorority sisters went through the exact same process as I did. Also, on the University of Oregon website, it lists fraternity statistics that are very interesting and that are also about men. It says that men who were hazed, about 85% of them are now Fortune 500 executives, and 76% are participants in the U.S. Congress. Does this make hazing right? The University of Oregon website seems to think so. Although hazing has been a tradition for years in fraternities and sororities, it doesn't make an individual better or more successful. I believe an individual can be just as successful without having to endure mental, physical, and emotional abuse. Greek organizations are built on integrity itself, and older members should be mature and educated enough to know when to draw the line on pledging initiates. If younger pledges want to be as well respected as the older members, they do not have to go through cruel punishment just to earn respect. All in all, hazing results in lack of brotherhood and sisterhood, trust, confidence, leadership, and reputations. Brothers and sisters of Greek organizations should earn the right to wear the badges of the memberships by the lives that they live. However, when hazing occurs, the organization does suffer as a